So I'm going to try to explain some things that will benefit you greatly if you listen to me and trust and believe this, as well as I'm going to lay out things that will prevent you from getting lost, stuck, or trapped going further. And I'm telling you, I can get you through this close to perfection as you can think of, man, my friends. So first and foremost, you are not alone. You absolutely are not alone. This will mind fuck you if you think this or believe this or get you go into this. Now, there can be a certain realization you have that where you realize that we have made certain things up. We have created certain things, you could say. But that does not mean you're alone. It absolutely doesn't, because you are. If you think you're all alone, this is one thing you're going to get stuck at. You're one with everything. Instead of looking at it like I'm all alone, because you're not, you're absolutely not alone. Look at it like you are one with everything and you are connected to a higher power. So look at it like that. That will benefit you greatly if you can get that. Another thing you need to realize is this is not a dream. Like if you go to sleep at night and you're having a dream, even though it can be correlated to this kind of, because when you're asleep at night, everything is composed of your mind. Your mind's creating the dream, but your mind is creating reality. So this is not a dream like you're perceiving it to be. Realize that. When I say a game, like you're playing a game, again, this is not like some VR Total Recall or PSVR or any VR that you're thinking of or a video game. This is the game of life. It's the game of form, my friend. It's the game of hide and seek. You need to quit playing victim. Listen, this is a huge one. You can't play victim. You can't play victim to. If you're playing victim to the system, or you're playing victim to the government or other people or corporations or the Democrats, the Republicans, I mean, I don't know, man. There's so many things you can play victim to. It's race, sexuality, sexual preferences, what gender you are. I mean, you can play victim to a lot of things. Stop. Stop that. It's content. You're getting lost in content. That is content. I want to make a separate video on content, but that is content. A lot of people are stuck in content. Realize this. You cannot play victim, and there will be a certain point where you play victim to yourself. Even I've said this, and it's poor little me, helpless me, like this. Wake up, my friend. It is you. You're doing it. It's you. And I'm going to say one big piece of advice that I can give you that I've realized before we go further into this, because I'm going to talk about cycles and traps and things that would affect you if you let them. But this is the biggest thing I can tell you is the Jesus story. I've talked about this before in a video. I'm going to go further. I'm going to iterate it here. So, Jesus, let's believe and trust Jesus was a real person. Okay? So, if you ask me what a perfect person was at this point in time in my life, I would tell you Jesus was the perfect person. Just because what he could do and who he knew he was, and the fact that he did the right thing, he told the truth, he stood up against authority, he always told people, anything I can do, you can do. So that's the perfect person. That would be the perfect person I could portray to you. So, how did Jesus do what he did? And this is going to go into what you need to wake the fuck up to and realize, my friend. Jesus realized who he was. Jesus realized what reality was composed of is the mind. A singular mind is creating reality. Get that. He purified himself to an extent that in his own mind's eye, he was good. Do you understand? Purify. He got what Christ was. And remember, Christ and love always saves self and God. Because you can compose those into the same thing. Christ, love, God, self. So maybe I could be wrong on that one, but just for now I'm going to say that's the way it is. And he was able, through this process of realizing who he was, realizing what reality was composed of, realizing what Christ was, and purifying himself, he was able to manipulate reality. That is the key to reality. You've heard me mention the key to reality several times before. There's multiple keys, but the main key to reality is doing exactly what I'm telling you, doing exactly what Jesus did. Okay? You need to quit. You need to, this religion stuff, this Jesus stuff, most of your life you have been exposed to and told about is content. The only thing within the content, though, that is important is God is real and what Jesus actually did, and that Jesus was perfect, right? In my eyes, anyway. Realize this. Don't tie Jesus into an image or a person in the Bible, even though that is probably where you've heard Jesus from. You get what I'm saying here, hopefully. Quit that. Quit with the religion and God. Quit tying religion into God. Even though, dude, I've been told that I'm a religious nut job from several people. Even though if you watch me or listen to me and you talk to me in real life, you wouldn't think I was a religious nut job. You would think I was far from religious. But I use words like God and Jesus or Christ or Buddha, or I use these words. And if that makes me a religious nut job, then I'm a religious nut job. It saved me. It saved me. These are things that has made my life go 100 times better. Is realizing God is real, realizing who I was, realizing what Christ and love were, and incorporating that into my life and trying to purify myself. So I'm just telling you, be grateful for things, be thankful for things. Do yoga. Yoga is great. Do it. Meditate. If you want to have crystals, have them. But at a certain point, you actually have to believe it and trust it and try it. So the last hurdle, my friends, is believing and trusting in God and yourself and trying it and staying in the moment, because all this is going to happen when you're able to stay in the moment. So I hope you can gather this and understand this. I'm going to end this talking about content for a moment. I planned on talking about things that I plan on talking about traps you could fall into depending upon the age. I am going to make a video that's directed mainly for teenagers, and then I'm going to make a video directed mainly for people in their 20s, and then I'm going to make a video for people 30 and up. So, but the content is what is going to get you if you're not careful. If you're not careful. So anything outside of your direct experience is content. It's content. I'm going to say some things that are content. Religion, for the most part, is content. The president is content. The political parties are content. This is content. You're scrolling through Facebook and you see some odd post of someone talking crazy stuff, and then there's a bunch of comments in it. That's content. It's all content. The UFC, for an example, if you watch UFC, it's content. um, video games, movies, current events, even. This is something that may sound odd to you until you can pick it up and understand it. Current events, for the most part, is content. Everything everything that you've seen in your entire life, for the most part, is content. And if 2020 has done nothing more, 2020 was a good year. It was hindsight 2020. Um, it wasn't a great year for me, but I can flip the perspective good enough to realize 2020 helped set me on a path I needed to be, and it helped break me out of the content, because the content got so outrageous that it just woke me up to the fact that it's content. 2020, with the virus, with the vaccines, with the mask, which another video I'm going to make is how COVID wasn't actually a good thing. It may offend some people. I don't really care. I'm just speaking the truth as I see it from my point of view. COVID was an amazing thing that brought in a lot of great changes. From COVID to the mask, to Black Lives Matter, to riots in the streets, to the president, to Donald Trump, who is, and Joe Biden. I mean, come on. Both of these. I actually have to give Biden credit. He's doing a good job. So props, my brother. It's content, though. You see? You see how I almost got stuck in it? I mean, it's content. That's all content. This LeBron James thing. I'm just saying. I'm just talking to you about things that I see. So I'm hoping you know what I'm talking about here. It's content. That is the content. So realize what content is, and don't get stuck in it. Wars, separate countries, all these laws and regulations, and it's fucking content, dude. But listen to me. I'm going to end this right now. It is a game of form and the play of life. I am you talking to you. Wake up. Again, Jesus purified himself, realized who he was, realized what God was, realized what reality was composed upon. And within doing that, there's one mind controlling it. And the one mind controlling it is the mind you're experiencing. It's in the experience you're having right now. So I cannot make it any more clear than that, my friend. I love you. Wake up.